Charlotte disliked the arrangement and resisted it strongly in a dramatic act of rebellion. She even fled from her father's residence. The incident shocked Britain. For a future queen to openly defy royal expectations was almost unheard of. Eventually, the engagement ended. Then Charlotte met the man she truly loved, Prince Leopold of Saxe-Coburg. Unlike previous suitors, Leopold was kind, intelligent, and genuinely cared for her. The two quickly formed a deep connection. The public loved the romance. After years of royal scandals, this felt like a fairy tale. On May 2nd, 1816, Charlotte and Leopold were married. Thousands gathered to celebrate. People filled the streets cheering for the couple. Many believed Britain was entering a brighter future. For the first time in years, hope surrounded the monarchy. Charlotte and Leopold settled into married life and appeared genuinely happy together. Their relationship was warm and affectionate. Letters between them revealed deep love and mutual respect. The nation watched eagerly. Everyone anticipated the next chapter, a royal baby, an heir, the future of Britain. In 1817, exciting news arrived. Princess Charlotte was pregnant. The entire country celebrated. Church bells rang. Newspapers printed updates. People prayed for a safe delivery. The future seemed secure. Charlotte followed medical advice of the time. Unfortunately, many of those practices would later be considered dangerous. Doctors restricted her diet heavily during pregnancy. She became weak and exhausted. Yet nobody realized the risks. As the due date approached, anticipation grew across Britain. The nation waited. Then came November 1817. Charlotte went into labor. The labor lasted for more than 50 hours. Hour after hour passed. Doctors continued their efforts. Family members waited anxiously. The entire country held its breath. Finally, Charlotte delivered a baby boy. But tragedy struck immediately. The child was stillborn. The future heir was gone. The situation quickly worsened. At first, Charlotte appeared stable. Everyone hoped she would recover. Then suddenly, during the night, complications developed. In the early hours of November 6, 1817, Princess Charlotte died. She was only 21 years old. Britain was devastated. The reaction was unlike anything seen before. Shops closed. People wore black. Newspapers filled with mourning notices. Citizens openly wept in the streets. Many felt they had lost not only a princess, but also their future queen. One writer described the nation as being in collective grief. It was a tragedy that united rich and poor alike. Even hardened political rivals paused their conflicts to mourn. Prince Leopold was heartbroken. He had lost both his wife and child within hours. Friends described him as inconsolable. He spent years grieving Charlotte. The royal family was shaken, but the consequences of her death extended far beyond personal sorrow. The monarchy suddenly faced a succession crisis. Princess Charlotte had been the only legitimate grandchild of King George III. Now there was no clear heir. The royal princes realized they needed legitimate children. Several rushed into marriage. One of those princes was Edward, Duke of Kent. In 1819, he became the father of a baby girl. Her name was Victoria. That child would eventually become one of Britain's greatest monarchs, Queen Victoria. If Charlotte had lived, Victoria almost certainly would never have become queen. History would have unfolded very differently. The Victorian era might never have existed in the form we know today. The British Empire could have taken another path. Countless historical events might have changed, all because of one tragic night. Today, historians continue to wonder what kind of queen Charlotte would have been. Many believe she possessed qualities that could have transformed the monarchy. She was popular, independent, intelligent, and compassionate. The public loved her. She represented hope. Perhaps she would have become one of Britain's greatest queens. But history chose another path. Instead of ruling Britain, Charlotte became a symbol of lost possibilities. A princess remembered not for what she did, but for what she might have become. More than 2 centuries later, her story still fascinates people around the world. Because sometimes the most powerful stories are not about what happened. They are about what could have happened. And few lives remind us of that more than Princess Charlotte of Wales, the princess who could have changed history, but was lost forever. Imagine a single life so important that an entire nation's future changed because of one tragic event. This is the story of Princess Charlotte of Wales, a young woman whose death shocked Britain, changed the royal family forever, and indirectly led to the birth of one of the most famous queens in history. Born on January 7th, 1796, Princess Charlotte was the only child of the future King George IV. From the moment she entered the world, she became one of the most important people in Britain. At the time, the British monarchy faced uncertainty. The royal family had many princes, but very few legitimate heirs. Charlotte stood at the center of the future. The public adored her. Unlike many royals, she seemed relatable. She was spirited, outspoken, and often resisted strict royal rules. Newspapers followed her every move. Crowds cheered whenever she appeared in public. Many people saw her as the hope of the monarchy. Her parents, however, had a troubled marriage. Her father, the Prince Regent, and her mother, Caroline of Brunswick, constantly argued. Their relationship was one of the biggest scandals of the era. As a child, Charlotte was caught in the middle. She often felt lonely and struggled with the pressures of royal life. Despite this, she developed a strong personality. She refused to be controlled and frequently challenged those around her. As she grew older, Britain became fascinated by her. People believed she would become a very different monarch from her father. King George IV was often criticized for extravagance and personal scandals. Charlotte seemed kinder, more responsible, and closer to ordinary people. Many believed she would restore the reputation of the royal family. When Charlotte became a young woman, attention turned to marriage. Every royal marriage was political. The government wanted her to marry someone who would strengthen Britain's position in Europe. But Charlotte had ideas of her own. At first, she was encouraged to marry William, Prince of Orange. The match was unpopular.